Hello everyone, this is Isabel. I'm at the Mplify Global NaaS event in Dallas, and today I'm joined by David Kettle, is SVP Telco at Arqit. David, welcome to my hot seat.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So David, once the data is in the cloud, who really controls that data? Is it the enterprise or the cloud provider?
Well, this is what people are tearing themselves in knots about at the moment. They really are, because there's a real fear that, when I own the data, it's my data, but I'm having to send it to the cloud for processing or storage or whatever. Where is it going? Is it going to a foreign jurisdiction? Does that mean it's under the control of their laws? Even though it's my data and it originated in my country, it now could be in Germany, let's say. Does that mean the German law applies to that? And that is, people are getting themselves really into knots around this. You see it a lot with things like Azure, who are building local data centers just in France, for example, to say, we'll keep the data in France. These are physical solutions to a digital problem, and that's not really the way to go with these things.
And in the last few years, we've heard a lot about GDPR. How can global enterprise comply with laws such as the GDPR when the data lives in multiple jurisdictions?
Yeah, it's a great question, and honestly, there is no answer to that at the moment, because this whole area is developing so quickly, and new technologies around encryption and confidential compute have only just started to appear. So as I said earlier, people are trying to create physical answers to this problem. That's not sustainable. We can't go backwards and say, no, we're going to use less digital and more physical footprint to solve this problem. We believe that the only way through this is to be in control of your encryption, so that you, as the data owner, can encrypt your data at all times, wherever it is, whichever jurisdiction it's in. So GDPR doesn't apply because it's never in an unencrypted form. I can send it to whichever jurisdiction is appropriate to get the services that I need, but it doesn't allow any of those entities, cloud provider, national government, to see my data. I, as the data owner, I'm the only person who can control the encryption keys, which would turn that data from encrypted data into real data. And it's a school of thought to say, if data is encrypted, is it really data? Data is only data when you can interact with it, when you can read it, when you can process it. If it's in encrypted form, it's of no use to anyone. So that's why I'm saying this whole area needs to work through. There's no legal law around this yet, but that will come as the technology catches up.
That's a very interesting concept, actually. So how can Arqit's encryption give organization true control over the data? That's the question. That's the million-dollar question.
It is, and that's exactly it. We allow data. Data can only exist in three forms: at rest, in motion, and in process. And the big problem is process. When you're processing data, it has to be in an unencrypted form, because if it's not unencrypted, you don't know what it is, and therefore you don't know what you're supposed to do with it. Arqit allows that data to be processed even while it's encrypted. And for the first time, I can have confidence that I can encrypt data using Arqit's keys, which are quantum safe and theoretically unbreakable. I can send that data to the cloud, I can process it and bring it back, and at no stage does the cloud provider have any access to my data. They can't see it, even though they processed it. They don't know what it was. It was encrypted when it came in, and it was encrypted when it went out. They've never seen it in its unencrypted form. So I can be confident, because I'm the only person that has the keys, regardless of where my data is in the world, that it's not subject to things like a FISA warrant. So US have FISA warrants, which they can make service providers hand over all the data that they have on a person or a company or whatever. That's impossible under this solution, because the service provider never has anything but fully encrypted data.
Super interesting concept. Thank you so much for a great interview, David.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed it.
Everyone, thank you for watching, and until my next hot shot.